Hello, welcome. Tonight I'm having tea with Becca. Becca, you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, everyone. My name is Becca Kallaus, and I am speaking on behalf of Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much, Mark.
Well, Becca, you want to explain to everybody about the laser therapy?
Sure. Okay, so you can classify laser into two broad categories. So any kind of laser that cuts or burns tissue is going to be referred to as a surgical laser. So that includes obviously any type of surgery, but also any type of, you go in for a facial and they remove the first layer of skin. That's still technically a surgical laser because it's actually cutting and destroying tissue to some degree. Now, the lasers that I work with are therapeutic lasers, which actually heal tissue. So the lasers that Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy works with, they're actually healing on a cellular level. So the lasers emit an energy that the body absorbs, and it essentially acts as a catalyst to the body's natural healing system. Does that make sense?
Yes. And do you have a laser that you can show everybody?
I do. So at our clinic, we have a couple different types of lasers. Now, one of the ones that we do have, we also sell for home use as well, and we have a pro version for medical practitioners. So this technology is actually called Calmer Therapy. The company is called Radiant Life Technology, where we work in tandem with that company directly. Now, this laser, you can see it right here, okay? This is the laser right here. The one that I'm holding in this hand is just a battery pack. So this actually, it looks small, but it is one of the most amazing pieces of technology for your health that's out on the market today. So this can actually penetrate up to 6 inches into the body, depending on what setting you have it on. And it uses 4 different modalities. Okay, so it's near infrared, LED, magnets, and ultrasound. Now I'm going to turn it on really quick just so you can see. Now the infrared comes out the middle here, so I'm going to cover that one because you don't want to look at that directly with your eyes. Now it's at a frequency where you can stare at it. It's not going to cause you any damage if you accidentally look at it. You'd have to literally stare at it for at least 10 seconds at a time for it to cause you any damage. But I am going to turn it on, and the LEDs won't cause you any damage, but just so you can see all the colors dancing around. It does have every different type of LED color in there. So it does have blue indigo, yellow green, and red amber.
So what do each color represent, or what do they do?
So each LED color, LEDs, they work on a surface level. So it's essentially regenerating and rejuvenating on a skin level. So each color does have a different function. Blue indigo, it's helps with any blemishes of the skin. It kills bacteria. Yellow and green, and I am cheating because I don't have this memorized, so I am looking at a sheet right here. But
That's okay.
the yellow and green, they target skin tones and reduce redness, and they also decrease inflammation. They circulate the skin's natural immune system as well. And then red, amber, they're good for wrinkles, inflammation, scarring, collagen production. They soften wrinkles and improve the firmness of the skin. So all of those colors, they do work on the skin level. It's the other modalities that penetrate deeper into the body.
So how did you find out about this type of technology?
I actually started working with the company about 7 months ago, and I don't know where I would be without it. It is absolutely the most amazing situation, company, technology that I've ever been a part of, and I'm really grateful to be here representing this company.
What's the story behind the whole concept of the laser and the owner of the company?
Sure. So the company Carmen Care began because Leslie Carmen, our clinical director, her daughter Lee was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia when she was 17. And what that is it's damage to the trigeminal nerve, which is in your face. It's nicknamed the suicide disease because it feels like somebody's stabbing you with an ice pick. Anytime shocks are brought on, which can be triggered by things such as a light breeze, any change in temperature, any movement of facial muscles. People often have shocks when they're eating anything, drinking anything, brushing their oftentimes people can't brush their teeth or brush their hair because it's just too painful. And conventional methods of treatment consist of brain surgery, which have risks such as paralysis of the face for the rest of your life, brain damage, or death. And so Leslie and Lee chose medication, and the medication that Lee was put on, she was an athlete at the time. She played very competitive ice hockey, but after the medication, she couldn't get off the couch for more than 20 minutes at a time. So she just completely lost her whole quality of life, and Leslie was just determined that was not going to be her daughter's future. And so she went online and did hours and hours and hours of research, and she found laser therapy and that it had been used to help. And so she went to her neurologist and presented that to him, and his response was, I'm the doctor. If there was anything, then I would know. Don't waste your time or money. That won't work. And she thanks every single day since then that she did not listen to him. At the time, the closest clinic, they live in Florida as well, and but at the time, the closest clinic was it went in the Carolinas, and so they went up to I believe it was South Carolina, and they got treatment for Lee, and 2 weeks later, she was 90% better. And it was because the laser actually continues to work and heal your body for about a month or so after treatment. So it was about a month after she completed her treatment that she was about 99% better, and she's been at that level since then, and it's been 5.5 years now. So I work with Lee every day. She's become a very good friend of mine. She's a goofy 23-year-old now. Yeah, but she still continues to play ice hockey. She's on 3 ice hockey teams now. She plays very competitively. They won the national championship the other year. There's a picture of that on our website somewhere. But yeah, so even with playing on 3 ice hockey teams, she still only has maybe a couple shocks per year, and none any more intense than a bee sting, which, I mean, for anyone who knows anything about trigeminal neuralgia, that's absolutely a miracle. But we actually have, we've had about, I think, 9 TN patients come through our clinic in the last 6 months or so, and we've had very good success with all of them. So we really make an effort to reach out to anyone in the TN community because we really can make a difference.
That sounds like really awesome. That's a great technology. And one thing is like what do people normally go to the clinic for laser therapy for?
In the clinic, we treat anything that's painful. So any kind of chronic pain or any injury, generally it's chronic pain. Our typical demographic are people who they've been in pain for decades, really, and they've tried everything and nothing has worked. So, that's why we know why that our treatment is so successful, because people have already eliminated everything else. So even the most difficult cases, that's generally what we see. But even acute pain, an injury that just happened, anytime you just get injured or you have surgery and you're recovering from that, we can generally cut the recovery time in up to half. There's a great picture that we have of a gentleman who he was playing golf and he hit the club into the ground and his hand swelled up, and he only needed 1 treatment. He was recommended 2 or 3. He came in for the second one and he didn't even need it. So with acute pain, it's the results are quite astounding. Wow.
So you showed the laser, but I mean, people obviously can go there. Does it hurt at all? What does it feel like when using this laser technology for healing?
Sure. Great question. So in our clinic, we do have a couple different lasers. One of the ones is a high-powered infrared, and that one does have a heat element to it. It's very therapeutic. But then the one that I showed you, this one right here, chromotherapy, with the 4 modalities, this one you actually feel nothing at all most of the time. Every once in a while, if there's sometimes you'll feel tingling, or you might feel pulsing because it's rapid healing. It's stimulating rapid healing. So every once in a while you will feel something like that. I'd say it's maybe about 10% of the time. Or with an acute injury, if something just happened, then you might feel some shocks, but you can see the healing pretty quickly when that happens. So about 90% of the time you feel nothing at all. So people in our clinics, oftentimes patients fall asleep during treatment. We have nice music going, comfortable tables. Even when I'm treating myself at home, sometimes I'll treat myself right before I go to bed and I'll fall asleep and I still have the laser on me. So.
It's very relaxing.
Very relaxing, absolutely, yes.
So you say that people go there for all sorts of pain and when other methods don't work, right? But are you
Yes,
talking about like, like back pain or arthritis or all,
absolutely.
all
Really,
types?
any kind of pain, any kind of any pain that you could possibly think of. Just about. I can't think of anything painful that's really an exception at the moment. I don't believe that there is any. Don't want to. We don't like to make 100% things that's just liability wise, but we do have a 90% success rate over all the conditions that we've seen, and they generally are pretty intense conditions. So osteoarthritis, we can definitely treat. That's usually in our clinic. That's usually about 20 treatments. Rheumatoid and psoriatic arthritis and fibromyalgia, they're going to be a little bit more than that. So those are going to be the more intense conditions because they're autoimmune, and so we do treat the autoimmune system. That's the beautiful thing about this laser is that you actually can treat it. You can use this on any part of your body, all over, no
Okay.
exceptions. So, and actually, the only other doctor at the moment who has this specific laser in Florida is an ophthalmologist, and so he uses it on the eyes, obviously, so to treat cataracts and all sorts of things. So you do have to have your eyes closed when you use it, but you really can use it on your entire body. So in our clinic, we do a wellness protocol for everyone that comes in so that we boost the immune system in addition to treating the local pain. So what that consists of is we treat the carotid arteries right here, so we're treating your blood, and then we also treat the adrenals. So, and that's something that, like I said, this laser is available for home use as well. And so really every single person can benefit from this. So, I mean, I actually, Mark, I can't remember if I mentioned this to you the other week or not, but I was actually suffering from extreme adrenal fatigue a couple months ago. I was really having a rough time. I mean, normally people comment on how much energy I have, but a couple months ago that was certainly not the case. And, for conventional treatment of, adrenal fatigue, it's just lifestyle changes, minimizing your stress, getting lots of sleep, eating healthy. I was doing most of that, maybe minus the sleep and stress part, but, and then just to cross your fingers and hope that you feel better in 6 months. With this laser, without changing almost any other aspect of my life, I was a whole different person in 1 month. I mean, there were some times when I would treat myself, my adrenals, and it would feel like a jolt of energy. So I really don't know. I really don't want to think about where I would be without this laser. So that's just I have multiple personal stories, but that's definitely the most significant for me.
And that is quite remarkable, just being living proof of something that actually you have. You're actually your own testimony. So when someone goes out there and seeks this type of therapy and stuff like that, what should one expect going through this whole entire process?
Sure. So everyone responds a little bit differently to treatment. Some people, they might feel something after one treatment, or other people it takes their full protocol. Some people a little bit longer than that even. So there are a couple factors that we found where people don't respond as quickly or at all to treatment. It's a small percentage. Like I said, we do have a 90% success rate. However, those 10%, we found a couple factors, including if someone has diabetes, if your blood sugar levels are too high. So if your A1C is above 6 to 7 is kind of borderline. Above 7, you're really not going to see much result. You have to get your A1C level below that point, because what's happening is that the sugar is eating away. It's deteriorating your body faster than the laser can heal it. There is still healing going on, but not enough to the point where you're really going to notice a significant difference. And then also anybody who's taking statins. Statins is an umbrella category of drugs, and usually for cholesterol, and those as well are too toxic for the body in ratio for the laser to heal. So the only other factor that we've found recently is that certain toxins in the body can prevent people from healing completely. And so in our clinic, we can now actually non-invasively detox almost any toxin or virus from the body as well. So that's just another whole amazing thing. But that's something you would have to come to Florida to do that treatment. But that's just truly amazing. So if you are having any issues healing from the laser, that is definitely something to look into as well.
So they actually will do a detox of you in the clinic and then put you through the therapy?
Yes. So the detox we've been doing for about 6 months now, and Every single person to date that has been through our detox program has had significant results of some sort. So my favorite story is we had a gentleman who was a Vietnam vet, and he has Agent Orange poisoning. And he'd been in pain for 48 years. He's overweight, diabetes, spinal stenosis, arthritis. He's lost most of his hair, had some neurological issues, some personal issues. I mean, you name it, he had it. Agent Orange is really, really a very toxic thing. And a lot of Vietnam vets unfortunately have it, as well as, a couple other people, demographics as well. But so he came into our clinic. Nobody had been able to help his pain. We got his shoulder completely pain-free with just the laser therapy. And then he went through our detox program. He lost 20 pounds without trying, without changing any other aspect of his life. His neurological problems were much better. Personal problems were gone. And then his hair started growing back and growing in dark. He's in his late 60s. So that was just, yeah, it was really amazing. I mean, he was just ecstatic, obviously. And then we also noticed his skin tone. When he first came to see us, he looked quite pale. He looked fairly ghostly, to be honest. And today, when he comes in, he is about as tan as I am, or more so. So, I mean, he completely got his color of life back. I mean, it was really, really remarkable. And he actually went on a radio interview with our clinical director. And so you can hear all this in his own words on a radio link. So I'm happy to send that to anybody, and I can, post it here as well, Mark.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. This is
Sure.
remarkable. I mean, wow. So how many places have like this type of like technology?
Laser therapy in general, or the specific one with the 4 modalities?
In general, like laser therapy like this in general. Is it
Sure. Sure. Laser therapy places in general, they're usually going to be some form of infrared or near infrared. Now, and they're popping up all over. They used to be, I'd say about 5.5 years ago when Lee went through treatment, they had to drive a couple of states north to find a clinic. But now I'd say, I'm seeing advertisements for places all over South Florida. I mean, that's what, the place that I'm most aware of, but I know they are popping up everywhere. But we're the only place that I'm aware of that has multiple different types of lasers. And then this specific one with the 4 modalities is truly remarkable. And the company that makes this, Radiant Life Technologies, they're a very special company as well. Our genuine compassion for helping people restore their quality of life is definitely shared between our companies. And that's why we work so closely with them. But so with this laser, there aren't that many that have this specific one yet. They are, getting into other places. But, there's only, the one other doctor who's an ophthalmologist in South Florida, or in North Florida, I believe, actually. And he's the only one that I'm aware of currently that has this in this state. So I'm not sure who else all over, but yeah, so we definitely, Carmen Care, we pride ourselves on being very knowledgeable about laser therapy. We stay up to date on all the latest research. We correspond with, all the top people in this field. We are part of WALTS, the World Association of Laser Therapy. So, we really do our due diligence, and our success rate shows.
It's awesome. Now, also, there's what other benefits do people have from laser? Is there a skin benefit as well that people can expect from this type of laser therapy?
Sure. So like I said earlier, laser therapy, especially this one with the 4 modalities, it's actually healing every different type of cell in the body. So, that means blood cells, bone cells, muscle cells, nerve cells. They're all regenerating and rejuvenating. So there's going to, especially with the LED lights on this laser, you're going to see a lot of benefits. Now, you can use this head that I have on here. This one is the medical head, it has this indent right here. There is one that looks very similar that's flat. That's specifically an aesthetic head. That one is used primarily for anything skin related. So This one with the medical head is predominantly regenerative attachment, whereas the other one is more rejuvenative. So the other one, I mean, it can help with wrinkles, acne, blemishes, skin pigmentation, all sorts of things. So this one can help with that as well. The other one is more geared towards that. So, but they both do both functions.
This is wonderful. I mean, this latest stuff is wonderful. I mean, it's totally awesome. So, like basically, if you're talking to somebody that is probably kind of on a fence about this or is interested about this, and they want to go out and get it and stuff like that, what advice can you give to somebody who's curious about this and has got probably very bad back pain, and their back is like, they tried surgery, tried this, the back is really bad, they can't move. What advice to give somebody working with this type of laser therapy?
Sure. Well, for this laser specifically that you can purchase for home use, there's really every single person can benefit from it in some way. Even if you are completely healthy. I ask this to people, are you in any pain? And they say no, but then I keep talking to them more and I find out that they have other health issues that, just didn't come to mind at first. So this laser actually comes with a book of over 200 protocols that are very, very easy to follow for just about any health condition you could possibly think of, for any kind of there's even neurological things that there's protocols for in the book, anxiety, breathing difficulties, skincare like we mentioned, the wellness program, the adrenals, the thyroid. Those things are very, very important to maintain your general health and to keep your immune system high. We've had people who they've used it when they've had a cold or the flu or something like that, and they've used this and they've felt better much faster than they would normally. Anytime you're sick or injured or just general well-being, there's always some reason to use it. But especially if you're in any kind of chronic pain, this is just absolutely the most amazing thing that you could possibly have in the comfort of your own home for your health. I take one home just about every night from work, and I use it as long as I can sit still for. I was having the dilemma the other day of the areas that I was treating, they were doing fine, but I hadn't been treating my neck in a long time. And so my neck was in a little bit of pain, and I was like, man, I need to be using this more hours of the day. Not that you need to use it for multiple hours a day. It just depends on what you're dealing with. Oftentimes, just 15 minutes a day could really make a large difference. For me personally, I've been in a lot of people are like, oh, you're young, what do you know about pain? But I actually have scoliosis, and so that causes, it's a curvature of the spine, and so it causes an imbalance in your whole structure, and so things are pulling in the wrong directions, and it causes a lot of pain and other issues as well. So I always had neck and shoulder pain for as long as I can remember. I also played college volleyball, then coached for a couple years after that. But I had to stop playing. My shoulder had just always hurt, but being an athlete, you're taught to just work through the pain, and so I just kept playing, but eventually it just got too bad and I had to stop. But then, I was like, okay, well, I still have to be an athlete, so I went out for a run one day, and it felt like somebody shot my hip. I don't know what happened. I still don't, but it was excruciating pain, even just a couple strides. Then all my extremities were just completely shot, so I didn't really know what to do. It was very difficult for a period of time. It was about 2.5 years or so that I struggled to do almost anything. But I am so grateful that I started working for this company, because now it's been about a month and a half now, and I have played volleyball every single week. I've been working out consistently. Hard now. My trainer is really kicking my butt. I had a great workout earlier today, doing things I haven't been able to do in at least 2.5 years. So, and I really owe it all to this. So I really could not speak more highly about it.
Wow, this is really amazing, because it really does provide a greater life for all. And in terms of someone who suffers from pain, because it can also be very expensive proposition. You're taking a lot of different medications and stuff like that. You're putting, medications that or drugs into you that really aren't good for your body and stuff like that. And then you could actually use this laser to cure that pain. You know, so this is really a fantastic product.
Yeah, we've helped a lot of people not have to have surgery, and we've helped a lot of people get off of their pain medication. You know, we've had people come to us with 3 knee replacements, 3 failed back surgeries. Did you know there's only a 5% success rate with back surgery? 5%. There's actually a
90% success rate.
Yeah. There's actually a code for insurance companies for failed back surgeries because it's so common. And then oftentimes people do epidurals or cortisone shots, but those are actually deteriorating your tissue. And so you'll find that with those shots, that they're less and less effective the more you keep doing them. And that's because it's actually destroying your body. So that's the amazing thing about this, is that it's completely non-invasive and it's actually supporting the body's natural healing system. So you're not cutting off pain signals. You're not masking the pain. You're not, you know, there are no significant side effects. You know, liability-wise, we can't say no side effects whatsoever, but, you know, that there are no significant side effects. That one I can say with no problem. So
basically what this is doing, it's enhancing your own natural body's healing abilities, right?
Exactly. So that's why it's so effective for so many different conditions. You know, people say, well, how can one thing help so many things? But essentially anything that the body can do naturally, it's expedited by this therapy. So, you know, just think your body is truly amazing. All the things that it can heal on its own. It just needs some help. You know, with you know, our environment today, we're just really limiting our body's ability to heal itself between stress, between the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, your mentality in life. Really, you know, thoughts are energy as well. That's energy into the body. So, you know, all those things have an effect on your health. And so, but when you're supporting your body's ability to heal itself, it's truly amazing what it can do. Laser therapy in the U.S. was FDA cleared due to a study on carpal tunnel. General Motors did a study because all of their employees were developing carpal tunnel. And so they did laser therapy on them. And 74%, I believe, of the people who did laser therapy were able to return to work with no problem, whereas the placebo effect was at most 40. So it was almost double a placebo effect. People are like, oh, you know, are you just imagining that you're getting better? And I mean, it really is truly amazing. I just kind of laugh when people tell me that now, and you know, they come in for treatment and then they see for themselves. But you know, there are plenty of people who are skeptical at first, but we've we've seen it all. Yeah.
Well, this definitely does provide a greater life for all. How do people get a hold of you? How do people find out about your laser therapy? So tell people how they can get a hold of you. Our website is www.carmencarelaser.com. So you can find out some information on there. Anyone's also welcome to contact me directly. I can list my phone number and email below the link. That's all right with you, Mark? Yep. Yeah. Okay, great. So, you know, anyone's welcome to contact me. I have a work cell phone that anyone can call or text me directly, as well as our main office line, and then my direct email as well. So I have an email that I can send out to anybody that gives a lot more information, any specifics. If anybody has any technical questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. You know, especially for medical practitioners, you know, they want to know all the specifics of the different modalities. I have all of that I'm happy to share with anybody. This is awesome. So it's www.carmencarelaser.com. Yes, that is our website. And my email, just for the video, is Becca, Becca, at laserwithcare.com. That's laserwithcare.com. Well, that's awesome. You want to say goodbye to everybody before we sign off? Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Mark. And it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.